Hello, everybody. Nick Wilson, Josh Parcell here. You may have heard of our radio program, Wilson and Parcell. You also may not have heard.
What is that?
Wilson and Parcell.
Sounds terrible.
Nobody would name a show that. It's certainly not two hacks. However, it is time for us to really dig deep. The free agency pretty much over in the NFL. And, we have a weekly mock draft segment, but we don't do our own mock draft. So we wanted to bring that to the people. And we are now going to give you Josh's mock draft and then my mock draft. This week we're focusing on the top 16 picks in the NFL draft. Of course, the final pick will be the Carolina Panthers. Josh, now first we have to which mock draft is this for you?
This is mock draft 1.0.
Okay.
Actual 1.0. Okay. Now, a lot of mock draft experts out there, they want to fool you and think that there is some sort of mock draft between number 1 and number 2 because they have 0.0. There's never a 1.1. There's never a 1.2. They just go straight from 1.0 to 2.0. So my next mock draft, this is 1.0. Next week, it will be 1.1 because I actually like to follow how math works. So
spoilers.
That's just me. I don't know.
That's not cool.
All right. You want me to go ahead and get started?
Let's go ahead and get started with the Arizona Cardinals with the first pick.
All right. Number 1, Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to win a burger on this. I said he was going to be a top 10 pick over 3 months ago. Kyler Murray is going to go number 1.
Yeah.
Arizona, Cliff
Very
Kingsbury.
upsetting. Shouldn't happen this way. Really doing a disservice to burgers, but solid start to the mock draft there.
So I've got Kyler Murray number 1. I think it's obvious that Nick Bosa is going to go number 2 to the 49ers.
Okay.
I think that makes all the sense in the world. The Jets are going to pair the Williams twins inside. You got Leonard Williams on the front four. You're going to have Quinnen Williams in your front four. I think that's a great defensive line. He's the safest pick, I think, in the draft.
That's a lot of beef right there.
Well, the Jets love beef, the New York.
I've been saying that about New York for a long time.
What was the meatpacking district?
Yeah.
Quinnen Williams, Leonard Williams, or something there. I don't know. The Raiders, number 4. If they stay here, which I think they may end up trading, but I'm going to go Josh Allen. He could be that next Khalil Mack, replace him on the edge. And out of Kentucky, he's just a fantastic stand-up kind of linebacker. He can rush the passer as well. I like him.
I have a football crush on Josh Allen. Watch his tape sometime. You'll need a cigarette and maybe a nice wine afterwards. Pair with a little wine.
All right, for Tampa Bay, I'm going to go Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat. I thought he may slide, but I've got him penciled in at number 5 here. I'm going to take Montez Sweat as that next pass rusher in Tampa Bay.
I mean, Tampa Bay has had a history of drafting underproducing talents. So Montez Sweat seems like the perfect guy. But boy, he
double-digit
runs
sacks in the SEC.
Runs
really
fast
underproduced.
and tight.
All right,
in the pros.
Giants.
The real game.
The Giants at number 6. Dave Gettleman. He loves him some big receivers. I think they're going to pass on a quarterback. I think they're going to wait for Tua or potentially like a Jacob Eason next season. I got DK Metcalf to the Giants.
Are they only going to have him run go routes?
That's what Dave Gettleman does.
All right.
I'm not saying it's a good pick. I'm saying it's what Gettleman's going to do. I'm telling you what's going to happen.
A lot of people are going to want you to run across the field, maybe out and up. No, we want you just to run down the field. Go routes all the time.
It's going to be fine. Listen, we got Eli. He's great. He's going to throw you the ball. He's going to tell you, DK, go deep. Touchdown every time, right, DK?
And you'll go right to the barbecue.
DK Metcalf, number 6. Number 7, look, Jacksonville, they don't have a tight end. Niles Paul is not getting it done. I'm going to go with TJ Hawkinson from Iowa. I'm hawking my mock, number 7, TJ Hawkinson in Jacksonville.
Ooh, maybe new mock draft segment.
I'm just saying, I'm full of ideas. Number 8, this is, I think, a home run. You lock it in, write it in blood. Rashawn Gary to the Lions. Michigan kid. They need somebody on the front line. Somebody who can get after the quarterback, play inside, outside. He's kind of that new wave of rusher. I'm going to go Rashawn Gary. Number 8 to Detroit. Number 9, I thought you had some thoughts there. All right, number 9, Jawan Taylor. He's an offensive lineman from Florida.
Jawan Taylor?
I don't know much else about him. Jawan Man would probably make about as much sense in Buffalo. But yeah, so I'm gonna go with Jawan Taylor, number 9. They need somebody to protect Josh Allen.
I just have to point out that Josh is editing his notes as he goes. Guys, this is a real in-person live. Like all those keyboard jockeys who write it and then just put it out there. This guy's editing in real time.
Wheels are turning.
Suck it, Matt Miller.
Denver Broncos, Andre Dillard. Andre Dillard, number 10, as a tackle. He does not play quarterback. I was thinking of taking a QB here. I just think with Joe Flacco there, they're going to at least use him for a season. There's no reason to draft. This would be like the Bears drafting Mitch Trubisky the same year they signed Mike Glennon. Why would you make this trade for Joe Flacco and then draft a quarterback in the top 10?
That's exactly what
Well, Denver probably, hopefully a little smarter than that, but then again, it is John Elway. Dwayne Haskins in Cincinnati. I'm going to if he makes it all the way to 11, I don't see him making it past 11. Andy Dalton, look, he may have one more year in him in Cincinnati. I think Dwayne Haskins is the future if he gets to the Bengals. I don't know that he'll slide that far, but if he does, there's no way Cincinnati passes on him.
All right.
Green Bay just lost Clay Matthews. I'm going Devin White, 12.
Strong.
Number 13, I've got Ed Oliver going to Miami. I think he is a can't-miss talent. If I was the GM of the team, I'd take him in the top 5. Number 14, I've got Jonah Williams, could fill that guard spot in Atlanta. And then number 15, I've got, this is a bit of a surprise, but with the Washington Redskins, I'm going Hollywood Brown. Ooh. Right now, they don't have a lot of receiving talent there. I know they could potentially use a quarterback. I look for Washington to make a play for Josh Rosen, make a trade with Arizona. So I can see them maybe moving out of this spot, moving up, moving down, I don't know, but they're going to trade to get Josh Rosen and maybe move out of that 15 spot. But I think Hollywood Brown is good. Carolina, number 16, Brian Burns. If Brian Burns is on the board at 16, especially if Andre Dillard is already gone, if Jonah Williams is gone, I think that they're going to take a defensive lineman, they're going to take an edge rusher. They just signed Bruce Irvin, but I think that if they can get a guy who can get after the quarterback, this team was 27th in the NFL last year in sacks. Brian Burns fills that need immediately, makes this defense much better the second he steps on the floor.
I don't hate Brian Burns, but I knew that was going to be the pick. Before we talked about anything, I knew that was going to be his pick. All right, so that is Josh's top 16 there in the NFL draft. I mean, I started with Kyler Murray. I don't actually think Kyler Murray is worthy of the first pick. It's not that he's not a talented guy. One, I don't think it makes sense in Arizona. And two, maybe more importantly, I think some of the concerns that you have on him, you can't just eat a bunch of cupcakes and hopefully he holds up. The weight really does still scare me, but I will call him the first pick in the NFL draft. Two, I'm actually going to go with Quinnen Williams.
Over
San Francisco.
Bosa.
Yeah, I think it's more that I agree with you that he's the safest, and I just think that you watch that guy on tape, he's just, as great as Bosa is, you don't have any of the concerns maybe you do with Bosa that you would with Quinnen Williams. 3 to the New York Jets, Nick Bosa. He's a top 3 pick. This is where his brother was drafted, but 5 years ago with the 3rd pick by then San Diego. If he goes any lower than 3rd, fire every GM in front of him. 4, I'm going to keep it in the quarterback. I went heavy quarterback here, Dwayne Haskins. I don't know that they would replace Derek Carr with Dwayne Haskins. Maybe there's something of a trade here of Dwayne Haskins and Kyler Murray in a trade, but I think you're going to see the quarterbacks fly off the board because, well, quite frankly, people do stupid things when it comes to drafting quarterbacks. Dwayne Haskins, by the way, I actually like more than I do the other players.
Derek Carr is just, 3 years removed from a MVP, borderline MVP caliber season. I feel like we're moving on a little too quickly from Josh Allen. Maybe Gruden does it.
I agree, but I also think John Gruden is not very good at being an executive. That's just my personal opinion.
I played that route with Gettleman, so I get it. Sometimes you just have to, do what they would do as opposed to,
I'm projecting stupidity in this case. 5, Josh Allen. If Tampa Bay gets Josh Allen, the edge rusher out of Kentucky at 5, quite honestly, it's not fair.
Sorry, Cam.
Sorry, Cam. Sorry, Matt Ryan. Sorry, Drew Brees. 6, Jawan Taylor going to the New York Giants. I know they have Solder, but Taylor's a guy that you can probably fit in multiple points, and he is long-term a left tackle in the NFL. I think that makes a lot of sense. If Josh Allen or one of the elite edge rushers aren't there, moving to 7 with Jacksonville, Montez Sweat. I don't think this kid is a top 10 pick. I don't think he has the bend you need as an edge rusher. Got my keyword
bend,
in
there it is.
But,
we waited about 8 minutes.
But he's absolutely the kind of guy that on paper, analytically, from the physical specimen, just is off the charts.
Mac is going to be really upset.
He is going to be very
Mac
upset.
is going to be furious.
I did not make that. Okay.
Mac will never set foot in Jacksonville. We won't be calling it Maxonville if Montez Sweat goes to Jacksonville.
This is a troll-free mock draft. I am not trolling Mac with this mock.
A Mac draft.
A Mac mock
troll. Coming up with segments left and right. This is what
Mac
we do.
Trolling mock. Never mind. 8, Grady Williams, quarterback out of LSU. I think Grady's kind of been massively underrated in this whole thing. I think he's a top 12 pick. I don't know he's a top 8 pick. I do know Detroit needs a cornerback. 9 to Buffalo. I'm going to go ahead and say Brandon Beane's going to go do what maybe he did in Carolina alongside Gettleman, set themselves up for some superior linebacking play. Devin White.
Okay.
Devin is clearly the best linebacker in this draft, and I mean he can be one of those. 10-year, 12-year, 15-year starters at linebacker at LSU. 10, we go back to quarterbacks. Drew Lock, quarterback Missouri. It just feels right. Overdraft a quarterback for John Elway in the top 10. 11.
Fire Elway if that happens.
Since fire Elway anyways. 11. Andre Dillard of Washington State. The Bengals did a good job of getting better in the trenches last offseason. They're still short a guy or two. I personally have been a little bit skeptical about the offensive tackle class. I've really come around to Andre Dillard recently. 12 to Green Bay. Getting Aaron Rodgers some weapons. TJ Hawkinson.
Okay, yeah.
I'm hawking TJ Hawkinson for Aaron Rodgers.
Folks, we don't call it the hawk draft for nothing.
Yeah, and nor have we called it that for many years. We are now, and we will for years. 13, let's get back to quarterback stupidity. Daniel Jones, quarterback out of. They just signed Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ryan Fitz something. Fitz Magic.
Yeah.
Fitz Magic. Why do you need Daniel Jones? You've got the GOAT. You've got Conor
a 35-year-old quarterback who's coming off a bad season. Why do you need another quarterback?
He wasn't bad. He was good for like 3 weeks.
The team was bad.
He always does.
Number 14, Ed Oliver, inside rusher.
You just want Cam to die.
No.
You just every team in the NFC South. You're just like, what? How can I find the most physically dominant defensive lineman on the board, and let's just send them into the rest of the NFC
I am
South.
out here taking all bits of my vast knowledge and putting them together, looking across the tea leaves and
getting
projecting
Cam murdered.
No. Cam, please. Cam's bigger than Ed Oliver, for God's sakes. Number 15, DK Metcalf is the dumbest draft pick that anybody will make this year because
Then Bruce Allen will do it.
He's an alligator. He can't run. He can't run like this. He can only run. No.
Oh.
Not a T-Rex.
Oh. Alligator arms.
He can only run fast in a straight line. Not great agility. That sounds like a kind of pick that the Washington Redskins would pick there with the 15th pick. Number 16, you had him 8 to the Lions. I'm going to say Rashawn Gary's the guy that gets pushed down the draft just a skosh. He is one of those guys that's a super freakish athlete. Maybe the stats didn't line up 100% in Michigan. He was still a really damn good football player. I think his best football playing is going to come in the NFL. I've got him go to the Carolina Panthers.
Look, he is a guy who's #1 recruit out of high school, top 300 kid, Under Armour All-American. Like, he was supposed to be this great guy out of New Jersey. Underperformed a little bit in Michigan. You talk about underperforming in college. That was Gary, but that would help him slide to 16. If Gary somehow does fall to 16, that is going to be very hard to pass up.
One point I did not make very clear here. This was my mock draft 0.5.
Okay, good. So it's like a half mile. It's like a mile draft.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, because we're doing half the first round.
Ooh, true.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
So that's kind of where we are. All right. So this is the
One
first.
step ahead.
Yeah, that's what they call me. One step ahead, Wilson. That. Not entirely true. I wouldn't look that up. However, that is our first mock drafts here.
Nailed it.
Every week. I was going to say every specific day, but don't hold us yet. At some point, every week, we will be delivering you a mock draft. Let us know at Nick Wilson WFNZ, at Josh Parcell. Tell us how much our mock drafts suck. Until then, tell us how much our show sucks. 10-2 Wilson and Parcell on WFNZ. See you guys.